Welcome to the Fighting on Film podcast, the podcast all about classic and obscure war movies, from the Normandy landings to the days of chivalry and swords. If it's been captured on film, we're going to try and cover it. I'm Robbie of RM Military History.
I'm Matthew Moss of Historical Firearms and the Armourer's Bench.
Hello, welcome back to Fighting on Film. Now we are on the way back from the We Have Ways Festival via, as they were calling it, 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
four.
Matt
four
is
already.
Yeah, Matt is currently in the driving seat. This one is recorded live from the Fighting on Film capture, the Mark 1 capture.
Not exactly a.
Not exactly, no.
Not exactly an APC. Is it?
No, it's not. It's not quite a Daimler Dingo,
No,
is it? No,
or
but
that lovely Cardinal Lloyd.
oh, that was a beauty, wasn't it? Or the tank hunting.
The Canadian
Universal
tank
Carrier.
Universal Carrier was
Well,
the coolest
well.
carrier I've seen in a long time.
Yes. So, as we do every year when we attend the festival, we do the We Have Ways wind down. And so, we're just going to talk through some of the highlights of the show, our talk, and then we were joined by some guests, some speakers at the show, some fabulous historians who are going to do the important question. It's not the large question, it's the important question. And this year's important question was, what's your least favourite war film? So stick around for that, that's coming up. So Matt, our talk this year, what was it about?
Our talk this year was with the irredoubtable, the phenomenal Sebastian Abieri, who talked us through many of his stories from the filming of A Bridge Too Far. And it was fabulous. We had a great crowd. Everyone seemed to really enjoy it. And it was lovely hearing Seb in his element, just being the raconteur that he is.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. If any of you met Seb, you'll know that he's just an absolutely lovely fella, lovely guy, so enthusiastic and just loved his time on the movie, and I think that really came through.
Yeah, and he's had a phenomenal career since.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Flambard, Secret Army, Peppa Pig's dad
Yes.
on the video game. He does a lot of video game voiceovers and audiobooks as well.
Yeah.
So you might have heard his voice out there. And we're hoping to drop that as a separate episode
Yes.
when we have the audio of it from the We Have Ways team. So thank them very much for that one. But it was just fantastic. And Seb was saying that he'd never done it in front of an audience before.
Yeah.
And in fact, he'd never done unscripted work in front of an audience.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
You may be hearing some beeps.
Ambience of the road, shall we say.
Indeed. An irate lorry is not happy with a Ford Fiesta.
No.
So, Seb was a little bit nervous. We were a little bit nervous, because we haven't done a chat like that live either. It's kind of our first time doing that.
Yes.
And we knew, really, all of us deep down in our hearts, that it was going to be great.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
We had a lovely evening with Seb the day before, chatting about the film and his career and all sorts of other things. And that was lovely. So we knew it was going to be good, but the atmosphere was great.
Oh, it was fantastic, and thank you to everyone that came and attended the talk and came up and saw me and Matt and Seb afterwards, and yeah, it was just fantastic. Like what a treat to kick off the event. We were on Friday in the 11 a.m. in the morning, bright and breezy, and it just set the weekend up, didn't it?
It was so hot.
Oh, it was blisteringly. I was going to go and buy some KDs from Soldier of Fortune to cool down.
Paul from History Rage did.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah, he was in his battle dress in the morning, and then we saw him later in the afternoon, and he was wearing KDs. I think he had the smartest idea. We nearly melted, didn't we?
We did.
We really, as everyone.
A touch of heat stroke almost.
We were
so hard on the Saturday.
We were close, and
if anyone saw me and I was looking a bit like resting bitch face, it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying myself. It was because I was so
me too.
Tired
me too. Yeah, the heat really saps you, doesn't it?
It does. It can.
We also went to see some fantastic talks. Rob Lyman's talk on Kahima and Imphal was
great.
So fascinating. Mary Brazier on psychology in the war.
One. That was really
absolutely incredible. And then just chatting to listeners and fellow historians and just everyone there. It's just everyone's so. We say this every year, but everyone is so enthused.
I really enjoyed Sean Scullion's talk on Middle East commandos.
Yes.
Just 3 or 4 commando units that very little's written about, and he's working on a book about that as well. We were chatting about his upcoming book, Churchill's Spaniards, which looks really promising.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Who else did I see? Oh, I saw Stuart Bertie's talk on architecture.
Yep.
That was really fascinating about the Nazi plans to build a Germania massive city, and really personify or put into stone the Third Reich.
Yes.
And the one thing from that stood out to me was the stupidity of trying to build all that while at war.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
And at the same time, they did a test pour of like thousands of tons of concrete.
Yeah.
And they found out that all the stuff they were hoping to build would have sunk anyway.
It's amazing, isn't it? Speer trying to save his job.
Exactly, exactly. Alina and Kate Biggers did a really great talk about individuals that were involved in the Warsaw Uprising.
Yeah,
I really like that. There was lots of personal stories, which is always kind of brings history alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just great. It's a great festival. I met my publisher for the first time in the flesh.
And I met him too. He's very nice.
Not over a Zoom call. We talked about my upcoming book. Talked about book 2 as well. Classic. Planning ahead. No, it was really, really great. And again, thanks to the Goal Hanger team and Al and Jim and just everyone is just on it there, aren't they?
Well, they're so busy, the team and the lads. They're just being pulled pillar to post, but they carry it so well.
It's just so enjoyable. So what I think we'll do now is I'll cut in, this is for future Robbie, cut in some of the guests that we talked to, and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
I'm here with the big man himself, Al Murray, at the We Have Ways Festival, and I'm asking him the important questions. And this year's important question is, what's your least favourite war film?
I'm going to upset an awful lot of people with this, but it's Ice Cold in Alex. They're pushing an ambulance around in the desert and it doesn't even blow up. What's in it for me?
Can't say fairer than that, folks.
I'm here with fantastic author Stephen Fisher, and he's going to tell us why he hates the movie Hellboats.
The movie Hellboats is from that era of the British cinema taking an American actor in the lead and trying to cram him into a film so they can sell it in the States. And they do really badly in this one, drawing this guy up as a sort of American mother, I think, and British father, so he gets into the Royal Navy, where he then serves in Hellboats, which is a completely made-up name for coastal forces that wasn't used during the war at all. These Hellboats, unfortunately, aren't actually even motor torpedo boats. They're post-war Royal Air Force Air Sea Rescue target towing launchers, and they don't look nice at all. They look awful. They're bulky because they've got huge cockpit areas, a very high elevated bridge which is designed for air sea rescue work, so you have a reasonably good view across the sea. It's not good for a motor torpedo boat because you want a very low, sleek profile. So they don't look the part at all, and they barely even use them. That's the worst bit. They could so easily have mocked up some much better Vosper or British powerboat style, I suppose. These boats are then employed in a mission that is completely ludicrous and isn't what coastal forces did at all, where the crews are employed as commandos to go and knock out some German ammunition depot, or missile base or something like that from memory, where they are turned into de facto commandos. Even though they're Royal Navy officers and they don't really know how to storm a citadel, but they have to for the benefit of this ludicrous film, which of course has a love triangle plot with the senior officer of the flotilla, captain of this MTB that isn't an MTB, the American one that is, falling in love with his superior officer's wife, and all of that sort of nonsense. The only good thing about it is it's set in Malta, which is quite nice.
I do recall it being quite a nice setting, but it sounds to me like we're going to have to get you on the show to rip that one apart properly.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, yes. I'll have to watch it again, though. That's a bit of...
Yeah, me too. I think it's been a little while. Thank you, Stephen.
So I'm here with James May, and the key question this weekend is, what's your least favourite war film?
I'm going to go for... I've just got to have a look round because the bloke who helped make it is here, but he's not here at the moment. It's Mosquito Squadron, because I loved 633 Squadron as a lad, and then eventually I thought I better watch this. It's a sequel essentially, isn't it? Yeah. And it's bollocks.
You can't say fairer than that.
Yeah, sorry, it's that. That's number one.
Number one. Thank you.
I'm here with historian James Jeffries, and he's going to tell us his least favourite war movie.
So I'm going to go with Eagles Over London, which is frankly, awful, otherwise I wouldn't have picked it. So from the off, you've got Bouchon Messerschmitt 109s that are supposed to be Hurricanes, Polish Hurricanes, so 303 squadron markings they're in, and you've got model Spitfires as Messerschmitts, so try and work out who decided to do that. Nothing really happens in it. It's an Italian production about the same time as A Battle of Britain, and it's just frankly awful, dull, boring. At the risk of upsetting a few people, it does have a decent scene of Dunkirk actually at the beginning, which is probably better than the 2017 film, and I'll leave it there with that controversy.
So I found Paul Woodidge of World War II TV, better known as Woody, and I'm asking him the important question, which is, what's your least favourite war film?
My least favourite war film is The Secret War of Jackie's Girls. I think it's like 1987. And it's like Stephen Cannell, who made all the A-Team production stuff, where they're trying to merge all the things that were cool in the 80s, like Airwolf and teams going behind stuff. And it's these girl American pilots who take helicopters, yes, to France, but it's clearly filmed in California on the MASH set that they rented for an afternoon to go and rescue a scientist or something from France. And then there's a pub scene, and don't go searching for it. Don't put yourself through the torture of finding this and watching it. Don't blame me. And it's just dreadful, but nearly becomes watchable because it's so dreadful. But that, Robbie, the Fighting on Film team is my least favourite war film.
Thank you very much. You were warned.
I'm here with Rob Hutton, the author of The Illusionist and co-host of the War Movie Theatre podcast as well. And he's going to tell us what his least favourite film is and why.
I'm afraid it's Operation Mincemeat, and that's because it's such a good book that it's based on. It's brilliantly written, incredibly gripping, however many times you read it, book, and they just somehow managed to turn it into a really turgid, slow film. And I don't mind that people invent things. You're going to invent things to keep your narrative going, but the things they invented were sort of rubbishy and crap. And
it does drag a little, doesn't it?
It does. Oh gosh, yeah. I think it has one good scene, and compared to the book, compared to the musical, have you seen the musical?
Yep.
The musical is amazing.
It's phenomenally well.
Book is amazing. The film is not amazing.
Quite disappointing. Bit of a shock. But great cast as well.
Yeah, everything. It had everything.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
So I've caught up with Phoebe Style of the Battle of Britain bunker. She's their education assistant, and we're going to ask her the important question. And the important question is, what is your least favourite war film?
Well, first thing that's come to mind is The Imitation Game, just because I find it really cringe and hard to watch certain scenes. So yeah, that's low down on my list of war films.
There we go. Can't say fairer than that, folks.
I'm here with Tom Petch, and he's going to tell us his least favourite war movie.
Okay, so I'm being controversial, and I'm going to say Saving Private Ryan. I'm just going to drop that one. I think the opening, fantastic. One of the best opening sequences of any movie. Locks you in. It's then, to me, just becomes a giant episode of the A-Team. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. There's the sticky bomb bit. There's the bit where they're sitting around with the record player. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy it, and that is why I don't particularly like that movie.
I love a contentious pick, though. I do.
Sorry, guys.
And you're a brave man saying it.
Sorry, guys.
I love it.
I'm going to get some flack for this.
I'm here with Sean Scullion, the author of the brilliant Churchill's Spaniards, and he's going to tell us what his least favourite war movie is.
Yeah, well, I've had to think about this a bit, but I was in France the other week visiting battlefields in the Ardennes, and one night I was watching this film, and I'd seen it in the 80s, and I just thought, oh my god, this is horrendous. And it's I mean, I think some French people would actually call it a classic, but I certainly wouldn't. It's called On a retrouvé la 7e compagnie, and it basically translated, it means where did the 7th company get to? And it's a film made in the early 70s, comedy, and it's basically about the adventures of a company of French infantry lost somewhere on the front in May-June 1940, and their adventures trying to get back to the French lines.
It sounds so promising, but apparently
well,
not good.
it's very corny. It's very corny.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's it's very French, but it's very corny. It's just too corny for me. I just can't. That's probably got to be the lowest of the low for me. But I'm sure it would be a piece of art for somebody else.
Now it's time for the early tally in the car.
Well, Chaz would be proud of
The
that.
capture tally. No, so we thought we'd have a sort of an avant-garde, a different kind of alley tally this time, and just talk about some of the hardware that we saw.
Yeah. Well, that's something the festival's grown with, isn't it?
Yes,
over the years?
yes.
There's been more and more sort of.
It looks like
static
D-Day
displays.
-2 or something, doesn't it? With all the
Everyone's
hardware.
getting ready for the off.
Yeah.
It does, and it's oh god, they had some cool stuff this year.
They really did.
They had that Stuart.
Oh,
really cool.
beautiful! Just get up close to it.
Yeah, have a little peek head inside.
Yeah.
Really cool. And Spud too.
Oh yes.
That was really
A
cool.
beast, a gargantuan.
Huge.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not World War II,
Yeah.
but it's still really, really cool to see in person.
Yeah.
And we knew they were working on that because when we did the Fury experience for our episode, we were chatting to David Willey about that, and he was saying that that was one of the things we were going to be doing soon. And then they announced it late last year, I think, wasn't it? And then just to see the finished product, amazing.
No, it was great. I love seeing, and it is film related, and I wasn't expecting to see it, but just by the Stuart on the top field near where the camping is, there's an LRDG group, and I love the LRDG.
That was a cool
fascinating,
display,
really great display. But they had 3 original Sea of Sand posters.
They had a French one.
French one.
Was it the American
one where it's called a different name?
That's it.
And the British one. It was just so great to see them. Like absolutely, like you'd want them hanging in your office, wouldn't you? They're just beautiful.
Yeah, I love one of those.
They are.
The French one especially was actually really cool.
Yeah, and I love seeing the Home Guard boys with their 2-pounder.
Yeah.
They had a hanging, landmine
They
bomb
did.
thing.
Yeah, they had the aerial mine. Yeah. Giant thing.
Yeah, it's great. And then Matt, you bought some alley, didn't you?
I bought some Erdl.
You bought some Erdl, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Only we could go to a World War II festival and buy Vietnam kit.
Buy a
Yes.
Erdl shirt that I've been lusting after for a
Yeah,
while.
and we were gifted
were.
by a friend of mine who used to do reenactment with. He was running a stall, and we were gifted a really nice Territorial Army leaflet from
I was about to say,
1975.
really cool.
Really great. That's going in the Tab Archive.
It is, and there'll be a
isn't it?
video on it.
There'll be a video on
as
it,
there always is with
Yeah, there
everything
is.
that's in the Tab Archive. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of me getting round to it.
I lusted over an M42 jump jacket set.
Oh,
I didn't buy.
If the trousers had been the perfect fit,
If the trousers had been not a 30 but a 34, I'd have bought them. But that's just, tanks galore, dingoes, universal carriers, as we said. Seeing the small arms demonstration by Rich of the Vickers Machine Gun Collection and Research Association.
Nailed it.
I got it in one.
Nailed it.
Absolutely amazing. Seeing an MG42 fire.
Yep.
Wow.
Very cool. I'm just going to throw this out here. I did suggest that they bring that.
All right.
Do
Okay.
a little demo.
Yeah.
Person, because they've recently acquired that, and it's really cool. And it's really nice to see the two compared side by side.
Yes.
Especially as well as the brand as well, of course.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to see
it's
those
great.
3 together.
No, and I thought Alan Jim's Ensa show on the Saturday night was a bit of alley. It was very funny.
That was
really funny.
I
Those
caught a
boys are
little
on
bit
top
of that,
form, aren't they? And they did his whole Keir Starmer thing that rang them, and he was going on about the Marmon Harrington armoured car. It was so funny. Really, really good. I'm not sure who did the voiceover, but whoever did it was absolutely top draw.
Good Starmer.
It was a top draw, yeah. What else did I enjoy? I just love seeing all the reenactors. It's just the level of kit
cool,
there.
Yeah.
Is
You
just
saw
incredible.
the Arnhem RAMC.
Oh, I did. Yeah,
talk
that
as
was a
well.
brilliant one too.
I wanted to get to that, but I was
fascinating. Rand.
I was too busy chatting away, and then I went and saw Tom Petch and Rob Hutton.
Oh yes.
Talk about Dudley Clark and Deception Ops and stuff in the war. That was fascinating.
No,
too.
that was really great.
They were on form. Lovely to see Tom again.
Yeah.
I'm Captain Dale Dye, and you're listening to Fighting on Film.
So, I think we're into, if it was an episode, we do favourite scenes, but we've already done kind of favourite talks. So maybe final thoughts for this year's We Have Ways Festival. It's a very short episode this week, folks.
I think for me, the takeaway is always, I wish I could see everything and everyone, but it's impossible because it's a festival. So you're going to have to make choices, and sometimes you're like, oh God, there's 3 there I'd love to see, but I can't get to them.
Well, I just love how the event's getting bigger every year, and there's just so much variety in the talks, and there's something for everyone there. And there was live music this year in the Actung Babies with their debut
great,
gig.
actually.
Some of the rewrites on those songs.
Very
I Would
clever
Send
ones.
500 Planes.
They all played
Summer
so
of
well.
39. Oh, it's just absolute amazing wordplay. You feel like you want to get up there and start singing with them. It was infectious. It really was. And then Willow May, she was brilliant. The singers, the 40s singers they had.
Oh yeah.
The sea shanties, wasn't expecting.
No, wasn't expecting those.
No,
guys.
it's just great fun. And just again, if you haven't been to the We Have Ways Festival and you're thinking about it, or you're in any way sort of afflicted, as they say on the We Have Ways show, with a fascination for World War II, it's just a great event, great bunch of people, the community that they've formed, the independent company, that it's infectious. We say this all the time, and just to be able to be there and be part of it and be so welcomed by everyone, it's just absolutely lovely. And we just leave with a massive smile on our face, don't we?
We did.
Yeah.
And minus a case of lager.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So so this is funny. So me and Matt, we bought a case of beers to have just in case, we wanted to have a few libations at the tent after the bars closed. And Matt says to me, Rob, just grab that case of beers out from underneath the car. I put them there.
At the sun.
Underneath the sun, because we wanted to get them to, we didn't want boiling hot lager.
No.
We might be British, but we do enjoy a cold lager. So I go underneath there, and I was like, and Matt says, it's not there, mate. And he goes, no, the other side. I put the other side, and they weren't there.
God knows where they've gone.
Oh gosh knows. Whoever had them, I hope you're really enjoying them.
Absolutely.
It's a gift from us to you.
Yeah, we hadn't even touched them, so it's fine.
Absolutely fine. And another big thank you to the Goal Hanger team, Alan, Jim, all the listeners who came up and said hello to us. You really made our year.
Oh, we saw not one, an OG t-shirt.
Oh yeah, the screen printed one.
Also, one of our FOF film cell t-shirts
designs.
as well.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Lovely seeing people in
those.
FOF t-shirts. Lovely seeing people not in FOF t-shirts, but people that listen to the show.
Yeah.
It's always super lovely.
It makes our year.
Yeah,
And
it
thanks.
does.
It's a short episode this week. Thank you very much, everyone. Next week, I think we've been talking about it with Peter. We might have Peter Caddick-Adams on next week for Young Winston. But bear with us on that one.
Yes.
More when we know. Look out for the one-word review. Look out for the large question. It'll be coming up very soon. And thanks again to everyone at We Have Ways for another fantastic festival. And we hope to see you in 2025.
Let's hope so.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.